I was exhausted. Like I literally felt like my body was numb and I just like slumped over. And from what I remember, they got me like it was fine on the plane, like I was breathing and everything, and nobody really freaked out because you're on a plane and you're passed out. But when we got off the plane, like my mom ran and got a wheelchair and they wheeled me out to the car. And they're like, do we need to bring you to the emergency room? And I was like, no, I really just want to go home and go to bed. And I think when I got home, I think I slept for like 2 days. And I still woke up and I felt terrible. Like my body just is like, I was like, what is going on? Like my body just feels like crap.
Yeah. I guess this entire time, did you have any thoughts on what was happening? Like, did you have any guesses or?
Honestly, I didn't, because I was like, I don't understand. Like every diagnosis that they gave me, I felt was, appropriate at the time. Right now, looking back, I was like, oh, I should have, like this stuff should have triggered, some different mindset of, hey, maybe you should look more into this. But like at the time, I was like, oh yeah, like finally got a diagnosis.
Like these things fit, like, yeah, because I feel like all types of diseases can show themselves in like so many different ways. So sometimes when you get a diagnosis and some of them fit, some of them might not make sense, but you're like, it could be like expressing itself a bit differently with me. And I feel like you seem like you have so many different like symptoms. Like,
Yeah.
It's hard to
Yeah,
pinpoint.
it was crazy, but I still was like, okay, I'm gonna give it a try, because I at this point I was willing to try anything. Like I just wanted to, like at that point I was 22 and I was like, I really just want to get on with my life. Like I want to live like other
Mm-hmm.
22-year-olds live. But I, kept doing that again, still like very tired, all that kind of stuff for a couple more years. I was like, I don't want to do anything. I want everything to calm down so that I can finish school. I want to graduate and I want to go to my internship. And I went out of state for my internship for probably 3 months. Again, I was doing what I was supposed to do, but felt like crap. And so finally, when I came home from my internship, it wasn't like, I don't know, a couple months maybe. And I was like, I need to go to the doctor. Like I had switched doctors from the one before, and went to this new doctor that thankfully my sister, because she's a nurse, she was working for.
Like just a regular doctor, like that you see
Yeah.
normally.
Yep. He was actually an internist. So they thought that maybe with all my issues that I needed someone a little more in tune with deeper things other than just a family physician you go to for a cold or whatever. So I went to him, and my symptoms that brought me there were like I was starting to see like double vision, and I was getting terrible, terrible headaches because of it. And I was like, at this point, I go, oh my God, I have a brain tumor. Like that has to be it. That has to be what's causing everything. Like it's a brain tumor. So I go to the doctor and I tell him my symptoms, and he's kind of like asking me different questions. And then he goes, hey, do you get numbness or, tingling? And I said, oh yeah, well, my right side, like my leg and stuff will go numb. And he's like, well, isn't that something you should tell your doctor? And I was like, well, yeah, but it's been happening for so long. I guess it didn't even pop into my head. And so like right away he ordered an MRI. He's like, we need to see what's going on. So I got the MRI, and I don't know, probably 2 or 3 days after that, he wanted me to come into the office. And I was like, oh gosh, this is where he's going to tell me I have a brain tumor. Like I'm downhill. Like this is the end, like freaking out. So I made my sister-in-law go with me, because obviously my sister's already there. And he, brought me in the room and he goes, okay, we did find some stuff on the MRI. And at that point you're like, okay, yep, just tell me what I have to do.
Like, this is it for me.